professional studio in the outskirts of Los Angeles, this is the Mindless Horror Podcast. And here are your hosts, Anthony and George Zaragoza.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Anthony. There's the host, George.
Hello.
And with us again this week, our good friend, SoCalExploring, Mr. Scott. How are you doing today, Scott?
Pretty good.
That's good, man. That's good. You're watching the Mindless Horror Podcast, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything horror. Like I said, our guest star today is SoCalExploring. He's back with us for another week, and we are always glad that he's on the show and happy to have him. We're going to start the show like we do every week with our shout-outs. So this week, we're going to give a shout-out again to SoCalExploring because he is just awesome for coming on the show. And
Am I really that bad that you can't think of words to describe me?
yeah, no, he's cool for always coming on the show. And, we love having you on the show, man. And it's an absolute honor and a privilege. So thank you for coming on the show, man.
Sure.
The League of Extraordinary Vloggers, because they're just doing what they do, grinding like us, so that's awesome, right? I'm going to give a shout-out because last week we had him on the podcast. The entire Unlisted owner, cast, and crew for doing what they did with that movie, and Jed Bryan, because he was cool to come on the show and let us have an interview with him, so that was pretty cool. And the audience, because without the audience, none of us would be here today. So let us get started with our first topic. And that's going to be our HHN 2018 leaked lineup. So we got a leaked lineup this week.
Do we want to talk about that? Like, in case anybody... We can link some stuff in case anyone actually wants to, look at it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to talk about the mazes. I just want to talk about, in general, what the lineup, how we feel about it. Because I'm not going to go in specific of what mazes are there. And nothing is official until Murdy says it's official. But there's two videos that came out this week. Dim Park Info did one, and the League of Extraordinary Vloggers made an HHN 2018 league lineup. I'll put the links in the description below if you guys want to see what that league lineup is. But in general, how do you guys feel about this lineup? Like, I don't know. There's some mazes I don't completely agree with, only because it's just I don't think it's time for them yet.
I actually like all the mazes so far. I feel like this is probably going to be one of my favorite years if all of them come true, just because I liked all of them.
The audio cut out.
I like all of them so far. I think they're going to be pretty solid, and I hope John Murdy, if they are true, I hope he brings them to life like he did with some other great mazes last year and the years before.
Scott, how are you feeling about the league lineup, man?
What can I say? Basically the lineup that I thought was going to happen. It's a lineup that consists of, is that actually going to happen or is it not actually going to happen? But there's some that are kind of straightforward on there. So, I'm not going to talk about it on here, but I'm sure you can find it almost anywhere on the internet now that it's public.
Yeah, it's on the...
There's a lot on there.
Unofficial Horror Nights Reddit I saw, too.
Yeah. There's a lot that are, that's definitely a thing, but then there's other ones that's kind of whatever. But I will confirm this. I'm going to leak a maze right now that we're going to be getting The Mummy at Halloween Horror Nights as a ride.
Oh, yeah, dude.
For this year.
You want to... I got another confirmation maze, too. We're getting The Walking Dead as well.
Oh, bro.
Bet you didn't see that one coming, man.
Okay, we're getting sued.
Yeah, you didn't see that one coming. But, yeah, the leaked lineup is out, guys. If you guys want to go check that out, like I said, we're not going to really talk about it because for purposes being that if it is a real lineup, I don't want no copywritten or sued things because we respect Horror Nights and we absolutely love what they do each and every year. And
if anybody wants to be surprised, they have the
you have the right. We're not gonna spoil anything for you. We don't know. Like I said, nothing's official until Murdy says it's official. But the leaked lineup is out there, guys. If you guys want to go check it out, you can internet search it or you can check out the two videos I linked in the description below. So moving on from that, we're gonna get out of that before we get into it more. So, the next thing I want to talk about, and they've mentioned this before, we're getting a Purge series. So, there's news coming out this week on Blade Disgusting that I guess the the series is gonna involve a Purge worshipping cult.
Ooh.
So, that can mean a lot of things. I mean, they could.
It could be after the Purge, or it could even be like during it.
Yeah. So I mean, what can I really, I mean, are they just gonna do what they did in Purge Anarchy and pick up people and just start killing them, or?
I don't know. That's pretty interesting. If
Maybe
it was
maybe
after
that's
the
what
Purge, I'd kind of be all for it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that Anthony has a good point there. If it's like a cult, I could see them like as just going by and picking people up and shit.
Yeah. I just I want to see what the cult aspect is, because I'm really interested in this now. Because at first, when I heard they were making a Purge TV show, I was like, well, I don't really know how I feel about that. But now I'm hearing more about it. I'm kind of interested to see what this cult's gonna be like. We're supposed to be getting the movie this year. The first Purge is supposed to be coming out in July. I think 4th of July weekend. But, yeah, I'm just curious to see how they're going to incorporate a cult into the Purge, because I've always just liked the Purge in general. I've always thought the concept of the Purge was just cool. Would I like it in real life? Not really, because I don't think I would survive. But in general, I just think the Purge is just a really cool concept. I mean, it was something that we kind of haven't seen ever. Unless it was like a post-apocalyptic situation like Mad Max, where like that's just the lifestyle, that's how they live. But to bring a concept into this where it's one night of the year and you can do whatever you want, all crime is legal, that's just cool to me. That's really cool. I think one of the stars of the thing is, if you've ever seen Sons of Anarchy, I know you have, the guy who played Juice.
Yeah, I think his name's like Theo Rossi.
Theo Rossi, there you go.
Rossi.
I think he's supposed to be, because I did see a picture of him, and it's supposed to be, I think he's going to be starring in it. And I don't know what network is picking it up.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't have too much. I think it's still in very early development.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't even have a complete cast yet, nor do they have, like, scripts ready. But they do have a concept of what they want to do with this show. So, yeah, you want to add anything? I don't know. I mean, I'm not too...
And, like, it seems like it's going to be hella interesting, and it's going to be on either USA or Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Most likely USA, because that's what it seems like USA holds those shows. But I definitely think that it has potential to be a great show as far as based off a movie franchise.
Yeah, it should be good. I'll for sure watch it. Like I said, I love the concept of the Purge.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, it's a Purge TV show. Like,
yeah, it's horror.
You gotta give it, yeah.
Gotta support good old Blumhouse and stuff. Next thing we're gonna do is my bad horror movie acting. Now, I couldn't quite find one, but then George mentioned one right before the show. I'm just gonna throw this one out there. It's from, I don't have the video with me, but I'll put it in the video or the podcast itself. But this week's bad horror movie acting comes from one of my cult favorite movies, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Mm-hmm. And it's the scene where they first enter the tent, and they're going through like the cotton candy cocoons and stuff like that. And I'm gonna go. This one's actually a two-parter, because both the girl in there and the guy in there just are horrible when they're freaking out about this kind of stuff. And she goes, "I've never seen anything like this, have you?" And he kind of just looks at her and goes, "No." And he's calm about it. So this week's horror movie acting, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Here you go.
I've never seen anything like this before.
And that's going to do it for this week's horror movie acting. Yeah, that's horrible. So moving on, we are going to talk about something that ties both horror and video games in, which I like a lot. So we all know that beautiful company Naughty Dog. We've been talking a lot lately of games that should be adapted into films. So I guess the president or the director of Naughty Dog does not want Last of Us to become a film.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think as it being a game, it's kind of its own film. It's its own. It's a playable film, and I just think if it were to become a film, they would just mess it up.
Yeah, because there are certain parts in The Last of Us that really like it. I wouldn't. It just like when it hits you, like when it happens, it's kind of like, dude, I don't. I really don't want to play this game, and like in such a good way. Like, it's been out for a couple years now. I'm gonna spoil it. If like there's, you haven't played it, right?
I've played it. Scott, have you played Last of Us?
No, I haven't played Last of Us.
Are you gonna, or do you care about spoilers?
No, I don't care about spoilers.
All right, go for it.
There's a scene, or especially in the beginning, when Joel is running away and his daughter gets shot.
Oh yeah.
It hurts so much because it's her daughter. It's his daughter, and she's like, I want to say like 10.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
Yeah, about 10 or 11.
yeah, and then there's another scene after through the middle of the game when Ellie runs away and he's gonna give Ellie to his brother so he could take him to the Fireflies.
Yeah.
And she looks at Joel and she's like, I'm not Sarah, and Sarah's his daughter who got shot and died, and it's like her saying that it's like it hurts so much, like hearing it, and it's that sort of thing. Like if they put it into film, like I don't think anybody else other than the characters who played them in their games.
That's a jab right there. You know that?
It hurts.
Yeah.
Especially like doing it in a movie. I don't think it would do it justice.
Who plays him? Troy Baker, right?
Troy Baker plays
Joel.
And then I think Ashley Johnson plays Ellie.
Yeah, I mean those two. You just can't redo it. I mean those are two great voice actors who nailed the roles.
Mm-hmm. And they mocapped everything, so redoing it, it's kind of like a slap in the face. You know?
Yeah. So in a way, I mean, just making this into a movie, I just can't see it. And not to disrespect any of the filmmakers out there, but typically we've seen that games that usually become movies haven't done too good in the box office. Now, personally, I liked Assassin's Creed, and I liked how they kind of did their own thing. They went kind of away from the games, and they kind of made their own original story again. I didn't like Warcraft. Warcraft was not too good. And they did I think a Max Payne movie.
Yeah.
They've done a Far Cry movie.
Did they really?
Yeah, that wasn't good at all.
I know I think overseas they did a Witcher TV show and some other stuff. Netflix has a
Castlevania. They did a Castlevania show.
Did they do Castlevania?
Yeah, that was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was an anime.
Anime, but
yeah.
still, I mean, but we've just typically seen that video game movies. I am looking forward to Tomb Raider. I will say that. Mm-hmm. Tomb Raider looks good.
There's a confirmed Uncharted movie with Tom Holland playing Nathan Drake, like a young Nathan Drake.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Wow. And then they're also gonna do a Division movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, and I heard there's gonna be one with Ryan Reynolds. He's supposed to be in. There's gonna be like a Rainbow Six Siege movie.
Oh wow.
Or like just a Rainbow Six movie.
Yeah, Tom Clancy. Yeah, he kind of owns video game universe and novel. But for them to do Last of Us as a movie, I just can't see it. I mean, there's a lot of post-apocalyptic movies, and the zombies in this game are special and stuff like that. But for them to kind of make it into a movie, I really can't see it because honestly, I don't know. The Last of Us is just different from other zombie movies and films. So, yeah, I mean, he has complete control and rights over that. So, if he says he doesn't want to do a movie, I mean, they really can't do a movie. You know, I mean, it's all up to at the end of the day, it all goes down to really him. But yeah, that's just kind of. I mean, what do you think about video games movies, Scott?
Video game movies, like horror movies?
No, like just in general, video game movie. Like they're doing a new Tomb Raider movie, and
man, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of iffy. I'm kind of like here and there on it. It depends on like who directs them. You know?
Yeah, that's another big thing as a director. You have to have a really good director, and that's why I think the new Tomb Raider movie is gonna be good. I don't know who's directing it, but from what I've seen, footage wise and everything. It looks like they're going back to the like they're doing with the games, a younger Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
The only thing I don't like about it is, I've read one thing that when they're filming stuff with the actress who plays Lara Croft, she got hypothermia or was like close to get she had like her skin was blue when she was in the in water because it was so cold, and they're like, oh yeah, we wanted to CGI that out, but it's hard, so we just did reshoots. Why would you take that out?
Yeah, that's like a real life kind of thing where they can tie that in. Yeah, that'd be really good because it makes it more authentic. But nonetheless, let's not make Last of Us into a film. Next thing I want to talk about, Baker O'Brien. He joins the Death Stranding cast. I'm not too familiar with Baker O'Brien, but anytime they release Death Stranding, I don't know if you saw E3 last year, Scott, but Death Stranding just looks like one of those games that's going to be a horror mindfuck.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. It definitely looks like it's gonna really play with their fucking mind, like you said, like mindfuck. And I don't know, I'm willing to give it a try.
Yeah, we got what was it? Kojima's doing it, right?
Yeah,
Hideo Kojima, and Guillermo del Toro's helping out on the project. We all love Guillermo del Toro, especially after Shape. We've always loved Guillermo del Toro, but Shape of Water just was phenomenal.
Except for Crimson Peak.
Oh yeah, except for Crimson.
Troy Baker's in joined Death Stranding too. They got an actress, Emily O'Brien. Wait, that might have been who you.
No, there's a guy named Baker O'Brien too.
Okay. Well, there's a lady named Emily O'Brien. She kind of like messed up. She took a picture in like a mocap suit, I think, with Troy Baker. She's like, "Look at us, most fun I had on a game," and then like an hour later, it got taken down and it already spread.
Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. But Death Stranding just looks weird. I mean, from watching the footage that they showed us at E3, like I don't know what to make of this movie or this game.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that they showed at E3, I think Hideo Kojima said this is like 9 hours in, and it'll all make sense when you played in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, which is smart.
It's smart, but then what if it's a giant spoiler like they did in fucking... Remember they did with Black Panther, how they showed a post-credit scene in the trailer?
Yeah.
And like, what if it's just... I mean, that wasn't really a spoiler because they didn't say much, but... they didn't say anything for the post-credit. They just showed him standing there. But, what if that's just a giant spoiler at the end that sets it up for a sequel? And that's how the game ends right there.
That'd be pretty funny. But if he said that's 9 hours in, then then I'm gonna think this game is more than.
Yeah, because 9 hours is quite a long time.
Yeah, that's not like oh, this is only like 5 hours in.
Yeah. So moving on, Death Stranding should be good. Moving on, we're gonna go to your horror movie Death this week. What do you got for us this week?
I had originally had one for Death Proof. That's not a horror movie, but Quentin Tarantino has amazing...
it's got some horror aspects in it.
Yeah, he has some amazing practical effects. But just before we started the podcast, we watched Ash vs. Evil Dead, and I immediately changed it after...
yeah, that was a good kill.
Yeah, after we watched it, and this is the kill.
So yeah, before we put it on, it's gonna maybe be it depends on the way you look at it. A little bit of spoilers for season 3, episode 1, just a little bit. I mean, but not really. I wouldn't say too much because it doesn't really, not really anything major plot. It's just killing a deadite, what they do in every fucking episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead. But here we go. Nonetheless, this is George's horror movie Death of the Week.
Are you gonna play it for him?
I'll play it for Scott. Yeah. So Scott, here we go.
Sorry, jailbait. My dance card is a little full. I'll have to squeeze you in.
Damn.
Oh, it gets better.
Damn.
So yeah, that is this week's horror movie Death
Suck on that.
of the week. That's known as the harp scene.
The funny thing is that show is so corny.
Oh yeah.
Bruce Campbell is such a good actor.
Bruce Campbell, that's one actor I would love to meet in real life. I heard he's just...
He's such a good actor.
I know when, if you're familiar with it, at Universal City Walk, the things from another, the Planet comic book store, when they switched, because their original location was all the way by near the entrance of the park where you see the giant spaceship. That was their original. When they moved locations, though, they had a grand opening, and Bruce Campbell actually came and did a meet and greet with everyone. And he was scheduled for like I think 2-3 hours, but he ended up staying for like 5 or 6 hours because he actually took the time to actually sign everything the fans gave him and actually talk with the fans. And when I just look at stuff like when people do stuff like that, that's just honestly the coolest and nicest thing ever.
It makes me happy.
Because there's people that honestly in this world will just like, oh, I'm getting paid for this amount of time. I'm just gonna stay in that much.
If they're famous, they'll just like be like, fuck it, like I'm gonna treat my fans like shit. Like if I were ever to get big for anything, like I want to like show my fans love because like they're the ones that got me there.
Yeah. And for Bruce Campbell to just go out of his way, and he's such a big star by now that a lot of people know who he is, and for him to just go out of his way and stay over the time he was scheduled, like that is just the coolest thing ever, man. Like I could not appreciate people more than that. Like if Bruce Campbell happens to be watching this, which I would love for him to watch this. I would actually love for it to have him as a guest one day. But if he's watching this, Bruce Campbell, you are the fucking man. Fucking Evil Dead is great. Anything you're in is great, and fucking thank you for all the fucking things you do, as far as movie wise and in your life, dude. You are just awesome. So, moving on from Evil Dead, your horror movie death, we're gonna talk about a couple of major news that came this week for Stranger Things season 3. We got some early details on on 3 new Stranger Things characters coming, and they just casted Maya Thurman Hawke to join as a season 3 regular.
Who is Maya Thurman?
She is Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter.
What?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know they had a daughter.
Yeah, I didn't either until this week, because I saw the Thurman and the Hawke name, and I was like, I know those actors.
I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, so, and then they also just confirmed this week that the little sister, who was one of the little sisters that was, like, so funny last season of Lucas, his little sister, I guess was, like super funny last season, so they're going to make her a season regular for this season as well. But I heard that she's gonna have like her own little crew, so she's like a little kid. I think she's like 10 years old in the show, and so she's gonna have like her whole little crew of friends, and she's gonna like
will also be seen as she finds herself on a wild mission to save Hawkins from a dangerous and unexpected new threat.
Oh, is that Maya Thurman?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
Or no, for the little girl.
Yeah, the little girl. So yeah, and then I heard Maya Thurman's character. I guess she works at like a store or something like that. And so she's going to end up finding out all this stuff and then help them out.
Okay.
So that is actually scheduled to start filming, I think, this summer.
Oh, nice.
Or
probably around the same time that we got season 2 then.
A lot of people, though, are speculating that season 3 is going to come out in 2019.
I think
Damn.
it's going to.
Because I don't... with the time being, when they started shooting season 2 of Stranger Things last year, we got a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, they're like a Super Bowl commercial. And when's it gonna come out? It's gonna come out like,
October.
Yeah, October.
And then Halloween. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta wait till October to see season 2 going.
I don't know. Like, 2019 maybe January.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's really gonna suck.
Yeah,
because
people
I really
say
want to see season 3.
A lot of things I've been reading. They said early 2019. So January, February.
Well, actually, when did the first Stranger Things series take place?
Oh,
like,
shit.
What month? Because
It came out, I think, in August.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, it was August.
Yeah, season 2 was around Halloween.
Yeah.
And so that would make sense around Halloween, but I don't know when did season 1 take place? That was August too, right?
Shit. Season 1 took place... Like, you talking about the timeline in the actual show?
Yeah, like what month?
I would say, like, they were in school, weren't they? They were still in school.
Uh-huh.
So I would say, like, it was just, like, a regular year.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember them celebrating... It was Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, they were celebrating Christmas and stuff, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've done Halloween and Christmas. I'm assuming next season's going to be Thanksgiving? No, but nonetheless, I can't wait for Stranger Things, because if they're getting 3 new characters... at first I thought Maya Thurman might have been maybe another test subject like 11. Remember how I brought up a couple podcasts ago that... I want to see more people like 11. See, because I guess there's more. We saw, I think, what was it, number 8 or number 9?
Yeah, I think so.
And you didn't.
I think that they're definitely gonna incorporate more of like the 11 characters, like the ones that were worked on in the lab. I think we're definitely gonna see a lot more of that in season 3.
I hope we do. He didn't really like the sister of 11 too much. I liked her.
She was
powers.
a badass.
She was badass. I liked her powers, but I didn't like her attitude. Because in the beginning, you thought she was someone like really like, oh, they're sisters, they're gonna fucking do all this stuff, and then she just fucked over 11 at the end. I was like, oh, you're a fucking bitch. But she's a good actor for doing that, so it made me hate her. But yeah, so season 3, we got a lot of new stuff coming out for that, and I couldn't be more excited for season 3. Next thing we're gonna talk about, and this kind of caught my attention big time this week. So Lionsgate is looking to sell their company, Disney. Since you're buying out companies.
Yeah, I don't think Disney can do that, though.
No, yeah, because now they're having
it.
problems with Fox now, aren't they? Like, the deal hasn't officially went through, and there's
no, because they still have to, like, sign shit. Like, they have it, but, like, they still
gotta make it legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney can basically do whatever the fuck they want, honestly.
But they can't do that because that's a monopoly, and that's illegal.
Yeah.
How's that?
Because if a company's bigger than the rest of the companies, then they get all the money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's a monopoly.
Well, I had heard. I was reading an article this week too that I guess Disney made like $9 billion last month or last year, and like I guess a lot of employees are coming out and saying that we don't get paid enough, and a lot of us are homeless and shit like that. And
What
so
the hell?
like Bernie Sanders went out on Facebook and sent like, you guys made like $9 billion. You gave your CEO like $100 million raise, and then like all your employees, they get treated like shit and stuff, and like you guys have all this money. So like I guess there's a big thing going around, like I guess Disney should up the pay for their employees right now, because a lot of people are mad about that. But
Come on, Disney.
Yeah.
for Lionsgate to go out and sell their company, it's kind of making me sad, because now you're seeing a lot of these major companies, either are they going bankrupt and they want to sell before they actually,
I don't know.
because Sony's in the process of selling.
Are they really?
Sony wants to
I know
sell.
Warner Brothers are I think Time Warner. They're gonna do an AT&T merger, and if that goes wrong, they're gonna sell Warner Brothers and the
DC
universe
separate, yeah.
Separate. And then I think Harvey Weinstein's company is filing for bankruptcy. That's not.
That's
Yeah, that's not like a problem or anything.
The
I mean,
Weinstein
Harvey
company.
Weinstein, yeah, the
Yeah.
Weinstein company. That's not like it's a given.
I heard about that, and I also heard that we all know Fox just got sold. But Lionsgate, they did a lot of horror movies too, and they've did a lot of movies in general that are really good. I can't name any off the top of my head.
Did they do Saw, or did they help with Saw, or no?
I think they did help with Saw. I want to.
Because I remember.
I
want
to
to
say they did.
Red background.
No, you're thinking of Twisted.
Yeah, but did they do
Twisted
anything?
Pictures.
I would assume they did. 'Cause I remember like the Lionsgate thing opening and it all being red instead of like gold.
Hey Scott, do you have any like Lionsgate movies you can think of off the top of your head right now, or no?
I'm trying to think, because I've watched so many Lionsgate films that like I can't remember them at the top of my head.
Yeah, there's like I know the logo, and
Yeah, like I see it all the
I'm gonna
time.
look up some Lionsgate movies, and then we'll just start naming them off. But I just think that for
Hunger Games.
They did Hunger Games. That's right. They helped with Hunger Games.
Power Rangers,
Jigsaw.
John Wick 2.
They did the John Wick series, huh?
Yeah, I guess. Oh wow.
So they did a lot. They merged a lot with people. And for them to sell their company, that's just and that's what I'm gonna go back before, is Lionsgate going bankrupt.
I don't know.
All these companies going bankrupt, and they just
The
decide to
Saw
sell.
movies aren't making enough money.
Yeah. But only time will tell. We'll see who buys it out, and we'll see what goes on. I'm excited to see what goes on in the future for this company, because, like I said, they produce and make a lot of good movies. So it'd be sad to see them officially go, but I guess they're in the market to sell right now. So we'll see who picks them up. All right, so we are done with our main list of topics. I'm gonna move on to a segment we do every week on the show now. It's called This Week on Crypt TV. This week on Crypt TV, we had two really good videos. We did I think this week was the season finale of Look See.
Oh.
I don't know if you watched. We watched Look See last week.
Did we?
That was the one with the monster, and he only has a mouth, no eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He wears a suit. They did Look See 5 this week. It was really good. And that one took place in a hospital. But just the money that goes into this production, it's amazing, because I don't know if they do practical makeup or effects. It looks like makeup, but I think it's half and half. Mm-hmm. But these Look-Sees are phenomenal. They also released a video if you kind of just want to watch them all. It's Look-See in chronological order. Mm-hmm. And if you want to binge watch season 2 of Sunny Family Cult, they did a super mashup of the whole season. So it's all one video.
Oh, that's awesome.
For season 2. I don't know about. I think they may have done that with season 1. I'm not too sure. But for sure, season 2 is one big mashup. And then the other Crypt TV skit that caught my attention this week was called Red Skies. I know I put Sky on the paper, but it's actually called Red Skies. This one was interesting because it was another silent kind of film where there was no dialogue. It was all just based off one guy, and it looks like he's showing him. It shows him looks like what he's either doing is packing up to leave this house, move out, or move in. Or he may be just putting stuff away and just getting rid of old stuff. I have no idea. But he goes out and takes the trash, and then he starts hearing stuff. He goes back outside, and he checks out the trash, and his trash is just kind of all over the floor. Then he comes back in, and there's this weird creature alien just kind of roaming around in his house, and it looks pretty. It looks a crossover between a spider and a facehugger.
Oh, you got my attention.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I'm okay.
Yeah, it's a good video. It's a crossover between that. And then what ends up happening in that video is it hops on his face, right? And so it starts almost trying to kill him, but he gets it off and like stabs it, right? And fucking he gets up and he looks outside and the skies are like all red, and he's kind of like confused of what the hell's going on. And then in the background you see this fucking alien just like kind of rise up, but all you see is his eyes, and then the fucking skit just ends. So I'm just like, dude, I want to see a sequel to this, man, because like this was just getting so good as that main alien came in. And so, Crypt TV, every week, they don't fail to impress. They always put up amazing horror content, and I look forward to looking at what they have every week. Another thing they did this week, a lot of the stuff this week, they came out with 5 videos total this week. Those are the 2 main skits. They also did, they did the look-see chronological order video. So if you want to watch all the look-sees, it's on one video. They did the Sunny Family Cult Season 2 Super Mashup. And then they did another Death Wish video, because as you know, Eli Roth's Death Wish came out this week. Mm-hmm. So they were kind of advertising that a lot last week and somewhat this week. So we'll get to that later on this week on YouTube. But moving on to our subtopics. These are topics that caught my attention but didn't quite make our main slate of topics. But we still like to talk about them because, we're horror fans. First topic, 47 meters down sequel says it will be The Descent Underwater. I've never seen The Descent, so I can't really comment too much on that. I didn't like the first one. My dad watched it.
Your dad liked it.
He liked it.
Yeah.
Because my dad watches anything with sharks or monsters, even if it's shit. But then he'll end up
Sharknado.
Yeah, he watches all of them. Trust me, my dad watches all of them.
I bet your dad's the sole reason why Sharknado's still alive.
I bet your dad's like that one movie reviewer that was like tries to argue with people in the comments, but there's like one other comment on the movie. What? No, that movie was good.
No, dude. You get blocked.
I will say this: it wasn't a shark movie that was like they made it just because like we need to make money. It was a shark movie that was actually decent. I didn't like it too much, but it wasn't complete shit. Like how these shark movies have been, like your favorite Deep Blue Sea 2. That's coming out.
I watched The Shallows. The Shallows is pretty fun.
The Shallows was good.
47 meters down. I think they're stuck in a cage though, and they had an oxygen tank.
Oh.
And so there's a shark coming around, and
I'm scared of water too.
I think that the shark movies are kind of getting outdated nowadays.
Yeah, I would say you can't make a good one after Jaws. Jaws was just a classic, and for Steven Spielberg to go and do that, and then when they made sequels and stuff, I was like, this is horrible. Yeah, Jaws had babies and shit, and I was like, how did Jaws get pregnant in the first place? Jaws died in the beginning.
What the hell? Like,
what are you doing, Universal? You're just trying to make money now. And what made me laugh too is when they in Back to the Future Part 2 when they did the Jaws like 15 in 3D or something like that, and that was cool. But it was probably shit too at the same time. But yeah, I'm not really down with a sequel for 47. What is it gonna be called? 48 meters down? Like I don't know. I'm not feeling it. So next thing we're gonna talk about one of our favorite horror directors, M. Night Shyamalan. and the Apple team are gonna make a psychological thriller series.
I heard M. Night Shyamalan is gonna be doing a Tales from the Crypt TV series too.
That might be it. I don't know, but this is like a psychological. Yeah. Is he doing Crypt or Tales from the Crypt?
I think so. I remember seeing some stuff on it.
I remember seeing some stuff of them gonna remake that and make it more modernized and stuff. I didn't know he was gonna do it though. That's interesting that if he's gonna do it. But we all know M. Night Shyamalan. He's good with psychological stuff. Mm-hmm. He really messed with my head with Split, dude, because I didn't know what to believe.
Yeah, I don't know if they're done filming that. The sequel to Split?
Yeah. The Unbreakable 2 sequel or something like that. Is it titled Glass? Yeah. Yeah, and then that's supposed to have James McAvoy in it, and he's coming back to reprise the Split role of all of his Split person. Yeah, the Horde. Yeah. Of all of his Split personalities. Scott, did you watch Split?
No, I'm gonna admit that I didn't watch Split because it was one of those movies where I see everyone like posting on their stories like, "Oh, Split was so good," and these are all people that like don't actually watch horror films, and I'm just like, like you think it's a horror movie, but it's really not.
I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly how I was when Stranger Things came out.
That's how I was too. That's exactly how I was.
And then I finally watched it, and I was like, oh.
I remember because I watched Mr. Sunday Movies. He was advertising it like a month before, so I was like, dude, I'm gonna watch this. And I watched it like when it first came out, and I was like, this is awesome. But I don't like telling people stuff. because I'm like, this is mine. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Like no one else can have it.
Unless it's like me or someone. You
Yeah,
know, like,
and
or my
then,
dad.
Like I remember like seeing some stuff for like 13 Reasons Why. I was like, that looks interesting. I want to see that. And my whole friends were like, dude, you should watch this. Like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with M. Night Shyamalan, I'm not surprised. I mean, he's had a couple movies that sucked. The Happening being one of them.
The Happening. What's that one with the Amish people that were? Actually,
isn't it like
The Village,
The
I
Village?
think?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
movie.
not good.
That was him.
Sadly.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
The Sixth Sense was good. He did. What was that alien movie he did? That was not
Signs.
so bad. That wasn't too
Mel
bad.
Gibson. Yeah, I like.
I always thought the concept of aliens coming to a fucking planet and they don't like water and the planet's 75% water was dumb. But
I do like the theory about Signs though, how they're not aliens, they're actually demons because Mel Gibson was a priest in there, and like all the water in there is holy water. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, that's a really good.
All the
theory.
water that they encounter is holy water?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because they only
That's
encounter
cool. That's
water
cool.
in Mel Gibson's home.
Wow.
And he's a priest.
That is a very good theory.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Are they like demons possessed to look like aliens then? Or?
Well, I mean, we don't really know what demons look like. I mean, I haven't seen a demon.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's been so many portrayal of demons and. Have you seen The Sixth Sense and Signs and all that?
I've seen some of it.
Sixth Sense is good. I like Sixth Sense. But you,
It's-
Scott, if I were you,
it's
I'd
good.
seriously sit down and watch Split. Like I walked in the theater like expecting.
I heard
one
it's
thing.
really good.
Yeah, and I
like-
walked out like, holy shit, this was great. Yeah.
It's just like with Stranger Things, like you said. I see all these people posting like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, it's so good!" Like, shut up, pussy! Like, this is you're a horror fan. Like, and they're saying like it's so good and it's so good, and then like I'm never gonna watch this shit. And I watch one episode, and I'm like, damn, like that was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, then you gotta watch it in secret and not tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing that was good, and that's what made me actually watch Unbreakable, was when I watched Split. Unbreakable is a really good movie too that he did. And when my dad said that this was gonna be Split was supposed to be an Unbreakable kind of tie-in, and he was gonna start his own kind of like superhero sci-fi universe, I was kind of okay with that because I was looking forward to it. I've never seen Unbreakable prior to Split, and then when I watched Split and they showed that thing real quick, I was just kind of thinking. Talk with Scott real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take a phone call.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Next up on the list, we got Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures heads into a demon house for an upcoming documentary. I'm not a fan of Ghost Adventures.
I'm not really either.
Yeah. I just don't like how there's a lot of stuff that I feel like is fake, especially with Zach Bagans. Whenever
Okay.
he'll run into stuff and he's like, "Stop it! Stop running!"
Yeah, just like Zach Bagans just makes me like I feel as fake.
Yeah. And I hear there's a lot of episodes I see of him where he's kind of like a dick, like he'll
Yeah.
tell people to like stay in rooms and like he'll like. Go
Yeah, have
to,
you seen like behind the scenes and shit? Like,
Yeah.
he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. I watched one where he bought like the original, I think, Exorcist house.
Mhm.
I kind of watched that. That was kind of interesting. But again, really, when you watch Ghost Adventures, all it really is a lot of like, did you see that orb flying by the camera and like.
All right.
Yeah.
What topic are we on?
Zach Bagans.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Zach
he's
Bagans.
doing the demon house.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that kind of caught my attention because I do like. You don't like Ghost Adventures
No, I do
because your
not.
mom and your sister
My mom.
kind of burnt it out for
My
you.
mom watches it religiously, and then she reads all the fucking books.
I hate
My
Ghost
name is
Adventures.
Zach Bagans.
That's all I
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, and then I'll be playing Xbox and I'll hear that in the background. But so what is the demon house?
I have no idea.
Did he buy out this house? I know he bought out
I'll
the
look it up.
Exorcist house, right?
Most
Yeah,
likely
it's
he
not-
bought out the demon house or whatever
Yeah.
this is.
And I guess they're doing a doc. So, is this place like a portal to hell then, or?
I don't know.
Fuck Zach Bagans.
I'm pretty sure he's already talked about a fucking portal. to
Yeah,
hell.
he's talked about it religiously over and over again.
Oh shit! The lighting just changed in your room. You
Oh,
have
did
a
it?
demon in there. Yeah, you have a demon in there.
Oh, man.
Dude. Oh shit! In the name of the Father, and all that good stuff. But
The power of Christ compels.
yeah, the freaking
Is it gonna be a movie? Oh, a documentary.
documentary? Yeah, so that should be coming out pretty soon. I don't know. You don't like.
So it's
that.
basically gonna be like, all right, throw
Oh,
this
he's
feather in
moving.
front of the camera.
Oh, he's gonna like move in for a month.
Oh, so
or
he's
a
gonna
couple
film a
months.
documentary. Oh, so he's
Yeah.
gonna fuck that, dude.
Release date March 16, 2018.
So this
I'll watch it.
that's next week.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it too, but all I know is that Zach Bagans is a fucking
watch
bitch.
it.
That's 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
So I guess he moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I would not know.
Yeah.
I would be like, hey, Zach, there's a church across the street. I'm gonna spend the night there. The camera crew will be over there. You could stay there. But no, you know what? I give these guys props because I would not be able to do this job, dude. I would get too freaked out. I mean, I watch videos on YouTube that and I actually kind of want to go to do this just to check it out to see if it's legit. But there's this guy I watch on YouTube who went to the Queen Mary and said that there's this one room that's haunted and it feels cold when you get there and it gets mad EMP there. So
Bro, I think I know what room you're talking about because I've been in there. It shit feels so weird.
Does it feel creepy and
Yeah,
stuff?
it feels cold and like your body just feels like
So,
tense.
My whole thing is, do you have to pay to get into the Queen Mary or can you just walk on it?
You can walk on it, but in order to get to like the museum areas, like it costs money.
Okay, so you could just walk on it and then walk around the ship yourself then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. But like, there's certain spots where they charge you to like, get
Okay.
in.
Because if it's that, I want to explore some stuff, dude.
I'd want to go through the Queen Mary stuff, but again, I'm pretty sure we talked about this on Ellen, where they have to go through it. There's like a little like.
Oh, you're talking about Dark Harbor.
Yeah, Dark Harbor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Dark
But-
Harbor's so good.
Yeah, in Dark Harbor, they have like this tube that closes it on you. And I don't want to go through that, not because it's claustrophobic, but like, I wear glasses and shit.
Yeah.
Like, what if they fucking squeeze my glasses and they break? I'm
Yeah.
gonna be pissed off. Dude.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yo, what's it called? Do you have you guys been to Dark Harbor?
No, we've actually been wanting to go so bad, but it's just we've never came around.
Dark
to
Harbor is one of the most best underrated horror events ever in Southern California.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
starting to come up because last year I watched the maze walkthroughs and I saw like lines for the mazes and like
Their mazes are like 9 minutes long.
Wowzers.
yeah, because they take you through the ship and stuff,
Oh, wow.
different parts of the ship.
Even the ones on the outside, they're like 9 minutes long.
Yeah, they have one maze where they take you to the infamous pool where you see that little ghost girl. And
Oh
they
yeah, that's
reenact-
just creepy.
They reenacted the scene like if there's they have an actress playing there, and then they obviously have some crew, people watching over the girl. Even working the crew, I don't think I could do that.
And you walk over. Here's the creepy part that I wouldn't. There's a maze where you walk over like the boiler room, and like you're hella high, at least a good 50 feet high, and you're just looking down.
Fuck
No,
that.
dude, I'm scared of heights.
Yeah.
I'm not going. No.
Freddy Krueger, man.
I'll watch a video.
Freddy Krueger. But yeah, so back to Zach Baggins.
Bagans. It's
Bagans.
Bagans. He gets
Baggins.
mad.
Does he get
Bag
mad
of
at that?
shit.
Probably.
Uh,
I'm like Robo.
yeah, so he's doing that Demon House documentary. March 16th, 2018 will be up. I don't know what it will. Did it say what it's gonna be up on, like Netflix or anything? Or-
That's a good question. I'll look.
because I don't know.
think if you're probably gonna. I don't know.
Because if so, we can maybe talk about that on the podcast. I know next week it's a maybe. We might do it on Saturday, and the week after for sure we won't do it on Saturday, recording wise. Because like in 2 weeks, I think me and him are gonna go see Blink-182. So, yeah. But moving on, number 4, Bruce Campbell. We love talking about this guy. We just talked about him on the horror movie Death. He says if Ash vs. Evil Dead gets canceled, that another movie could be possibly on the way.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm for it too.
I'm always for anything Sam Raimi, Ash vs. Evil Dead universe. My big question, I was talking to you on the way here, was are they going to transfer all the characters from Ash vs. Evil Dead into this movie, if that happens?
I brought up too that I hope they do. It could be like a Firefly Serenity kind of situation, which would be cool. Kind of like Serenity is the movie to Firefly, and it kind of wrapped up everything as far as what the whole crew's ideas or what Joss Whedon had for the crew and whatnot. Or at least what I think is what happens. I liked Serenity. I thought it was a really good send off for the crew. I'm a giant fan of Firefly, and if this gets, I kind of hope it doesn't get canceled. But I would also want like
If it were.
I would want an Ash vs. Evil Dead movie just for like a bigger budget, and they could do whatever they want.
I would say, because they only do 10 episodes of this show each season, And I think that's honestly one of the most perfect amount for at least Ash vs. Evil Dead, for them being 30-minute shows. Now, I know you have the argument saying like if it's like an hour show, then do only 8 episodes because it's 4 to set everything up, 4 to get right to the point, Yeah. And so with Ash vs. Evil Dead, though, I feel it's acceptable for. I would love it if it were to be like a 23-episode season, because honestly, with me, I feel that with that being a season that long, with the episodes being that short, that it would just be better. But I mean, they only know what they want to do for 10 episodes and the 30 minutes. I'm a little bummed that I wish it was an hour long each. Yeah. Because I love that show to death, and it's just so funny. And then for me to have to wait each week to watch another episode just kind of pisses me off every time. But nonetheless, I hope that it doesn't get canceled. But if it does get canceled, I would love to see another movie. Now, Scott, have you watched all seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead?
I forget what season I didn't watch, but I think I missed out on season 3.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that one just started. You're just 1 episode behind. You're good.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, it's we just watched the first episode. I watched it for the second time, and I love that episode. I love that thing in general. Speaking of Ash vs. Evil Dead, I'm just gonna bring it up now because it's number 14. But that first episode used a ton of practical effects. Yeah, more than we actually knew. And I always praise horror movies when they use a lot of practical effects because for me it makes the movie more authentic. Mm-hmm. One of the scenes that we brought up in your horror movie death, the harp scene, that was all practical effect. Yeah. I showed you, or I explained to you how they did it. They they made a prosthetic, and the only thing that I think they CGI'd was the blood because it looked more CGI'd. But other than that, it split in half. That was all prosthetic. I know the costume that you see that's possessed in the first episode of season 3. That was of course a prosthetic. There wasn't really too much CGI really if you looked at it. I mean, I would say that blood scene where it comes up to their feet. Yeah. But that's that's obviously CGI. But as far as the Deadites always go, they don't CGI them. Mm-hmm. They mostly they're all prosthetics, and I really like that because it has that Evil Dead goofy horror feel. Yeah. So I really like when they do that. We won't talk too much about season 3 episode 1 because Scott has not seen Ash vs. Evil Dead, and I don't want to spoil too much because it's a very good first episode to start the season. So if you guys we might talk about it. Yeah, we might talk about it next week. But yeah, see, we might talk about it next week. So we'll see what goes on. So this one was pretty cool. If you're in the California area in October, make sure to look forward to the Halloween 40th anniversary. Oh yeah. We're gonna have to definitely look into that.
Yeah, I really want to see that. So see what they're doing.
Let's see.
Do we have any what they're gonna do, or do they just announce something?
Well, I know.
I feel like it's gonna be a festival.
I think Halloween. Yeah, Halloween turns 40 this year. The original Halloween
festival.
So what I'm thinking they'll do is celebrate the first Halloween movie and maybe screen the newest one because it has October 19th release.
That's smart, dude.
Yeah.
That's why they give you the big bucks.
I wish. But if it's going to be in October, I think its release date is October 19th, 2018. So it would be a cool thing to do, in my opinion, is, have a festival of Michael Myers, and they have a bunch of, vendors and stuff. And then at a certain time, what they should do is a double feature of the first Halloween and then the new Halloween, which would be awesome to me because from what we've been told with news-wise, I guess this new Halloween is erasing too and just going another pathway, like an alternate reality, which I'm okay with just as long as they do it right. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been watching a lot of interviews with Danny McBride. That's what he said. He goes, it's hard to do a horror movie because there's a lot of major diehard fans, especially with this franchise. There's a lot of diehard fans with this, and if you do one little thing that's wrong, the whole fan base can shit on your fucking parade, you know? And so, we'll see. Only time will tell. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of set photos from this movie and hearing a lot of news on it, and I'm honestly excited to see it from what I've been seeing. They got Nick Castle back to reprise as well as Michael Myers. Jamie Lee Curtis is back. They did confirm the mom from Jurassic World. You know what I'm talking about, right? The blonde one that was all freaking out and stuff and calling and her sister was. She is playing Laurie Strode's daughter.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
So that I found that interesting also this week because I had looked up the IMDb for that and it said her last name was Strode.
Okay.
So that should be pretty cool. I want to see how that's gonna affect the franchise itself, because I know in the later Halloween films that Laurie had a son, but that was like the 4 through 6 timeline is so fucking different. Like the franchise itself is all fucked. But yeah, we definitely, boys, have to check that out, the 40th anniversary event. And especially if it's happening here in California. I'm hoping it's going to happen in Los Angeles. It'd be cool if it happened even at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So, only time will tell. Here's another thing we get to talk about. Comic books. New Mutants reshoots adds an additional character.
Yeah, we were talking about this when this news first came out, because there is a lot of talk. I think last week or the week before we talked about it. They're gonna make a Kitty Pryde horror movie film.
And then I brought up the fact that what if the reshoots are gonna include her?
Yeah, which would be. I have a stroke too. Which would be pretty awesome, but it would be kind of weird because this movie is gonna come out like basically next year. So I could kind of see them. Inserting everything and having everybody talk to each other and there wouldn't be scenes that's kind of weird without her. Which at what point are you making a completely different movie, and will we ever see the cut of the movie?
And you know what, that came to mind to me this week. Are we gonna get a completely, because if they're gonna go, that gives them time to reshoot a whole different movie.
Yeah. And
so when they release it on DVD, are we gonna get the theatrical cut and then an alternate cut like they did with X-Men Days of Future Past, the Rogue cut?
I hope.
But we had to wait a couple months even for that to come out, dude.
Yeah.
And that Rogue cut, it was a whole different movie.
Yeah, it really was.
And I was tripping out when I was watching. I was like, I don't know this movie at all. And that's why they made the Rogue cut, because a lot of people were pissed off that Rogue, they had mentioned when they were filming this movie, was a major character in this movie. Mm-hmm. And then when this movie came out,
I don't think she was in it at all.
She was in the very end.
Yeah, she's in the end.
And that was the one.
There's a scene too when all the Sentinels come in and you could see her in a mirror, but it's supposed to be Kitty Pryde still.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of interesting, but
yeah. But yeah, what do you think, Scott? Have you been following New Mutants or no?
No, I can't say I have at all, actually.
It looks good. It's supposed to be Marvel's first attempt, or not Marvel Studios, but 20th Century Fox's Marvel's first attempt at a horror movie. And,
okay.
If you get a chance, you can watch the trailer. It was supposed to come out actually last month. But I guess they did a screening test, and they said it got good reviews, but not the reviews they were looking for. So they're gonna do a lot of year. They delayed it a whole year, and they're gonna try to make it even scarier than it originally was. So we'll see. So before I talk about this, Scott, did you watch Walking Dead last week?
No, I have not.
Do you watch it in general?
Yeah, I watch it.
You don't care.
I don't care. I don't.
But I'm not gonna. Have you heard the news of what happened this last week at least, or no?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well I won't talk about it too much this week. But I will say this: The Walking Dead just had its lowest rated mid-season premiere date ever.
Sorry.
The Walking Dead, always famous for getting its high reviews and high views. I guess this mid-season premiere though didn't get the ratings that they usually get on a mid-season premiere. And I would say ever since the whole Glenn thing that a lot of people stopped watching it. And since Negan stepped into the picture, which people knew, dude, Glenn was immediately gonna die when Negan stepped into the picture.
Well, I like Negan. Him and Rick are my favorite characters on the show. I just don't like the show.
Yeah, but people should have known by now. If you read the comic book, I know they haven't gone completely off the comic books, but a lot of the stuff they did was pretty accurate to the comic books. They've added and taken out little minor details, but if you really look at the comics, Negan kills Glenn in the comics, so you should have been expecting that when Negan stepped into the picture. But yeah, I guess it didn't make. This show is known for its ratings, and I guess out of all the mid-season premieres they've had, this is the lowest one they've ever had. But it still gained a big audience. Low to them is like a couple 100,000 compared to what they usually get. But
it's a real pain in the ass. I mean, it's cool getting like 23 episodes a season, but it's a pain in the ass when you're on the ball watching, and they're like, "Oh, we'll see you in like 3 months." Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I was watching the show. I was having a good ass time.
Another thing they've been doing a lot lately that I don't like too is like they focused on one story, and then next week they like, "Oh, you want to see that story? You're gonna have to wait 2 more weeks for that. Here's another story to keep you occupied." I was like, "Fuck, dude!" And then by the time that story comes back, you're not really as interested anymore because you're already focused on another story.
There's just too many characters.
Yeah, and that's why I think they're slowly killing a lot off now. So we'll see. But let's move on. Your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, 3, The Dream Warriors, turned 31 this week. 31st anniversary. Scott, have you ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3? I think we lost him, audio-wise. This happened like last week too. It's always something with Skype though. It's always Skype's thing. But Nightmare on Elm Street 3 turning 31. I have actually never seen that movie.
It's pretty good. That's where I believe that's the one, if I'm correct and I'm not dying. That's the one where Freddy gets that one chick and
Shoves her into the TV, right? Yeah.
Prime time, bitch.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool. I mean, for movies to turn another milestone, that's always awesome. That's cool. Hey, so number 9, Logan star Boyd Holbrook.
He's in Predator, the new Predators movie by Shane Black.
He's writing a new sci-fi thriller, The Thirst.
Oh, he's writing it?
For Fox.
Oh, wowzers.
It's called The Thirst. I haven't heard too much about it. I guess it's serious. It must be in very detailed pre-production. But yeah, he played.
I'm back, guys.
Oh, there you go. He played the bad guy in Logan, the one that had that. Well, I live and breathe. The Wolverine. He was great in Logan.
He's one of my favorite characters in Logan.
I truly hated his character, but that's what made it so good. But yeah, I guess he's writing this movie. It's a sci-fi thriller called The Thirst, and Fox is doing it. That's cool though. He's writing stuff. I mean, I didn't know he had, some good writing talent.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, he's a very good actor.
Yeah. Speaking of Logan, as of this recording, March 3rd, this is a year anniversary of when Logan came out.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Specifically, when I went to go see it, I put it
You on them
calendar
facts.
for every year because I love that movie so much.
Logan.
I'm gonna watch it tonight before I go to sleep.
Logan's great.
Hey, you know what? Logan sucks.
Whoa, bro!
All right, thanks for
Bombshell.
being on the podcast.
SoCalExploring.
See you next week.
Hates Logan.
Did you not really like Logan though, or
No, I love Logan. Logan was a good ass movie.
Yeah. You know what though? I'm gonna throw this out here right now, and this is gonna completely go off topic from what we usually do, but I've always been interested in podcasts in general, and I really want to do a podcast just dedicated to superheroes and stuff because I've noticed every week when we talk about stuff, we always go off topic and start talking about what we like in the nerd universe and stuff, So if you guys would be interested in that, and maybe even Scott can be another co-host on this if Scott wants to, we want to do a podcast just dedicated to superheroes and stuff like that. It's something I've kind of thrown around, but for sure I really want to do it.
Or just think of other topics in general because we do go off a lot.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love horror.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna fucking love horror. And I'm always going to keep doing this podcast because we get so much horror news every week. But there's other stuff I want to talk about besides horror and other podcast stuff,
We could do like a subsection.
So, yeah, if you guys think that's a good idea, leave it in the comments below. I'm just throwing that out there. But let's get back to our podcast. This one kind of got me. So, VR is becoming a big thing lately.
Yeah.
They just turned the infamous Ring scene of her coming out of the TV to life, and I heard it's one of the scariest things ever.
Really?
Jesus Christ, that must be terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I won't know. I won't watch it.
My God.
If you guys are familiar with The Ring, and that iconic scene where they play the cursed videotape, and then she comes out of the TV. So I guess I didn't really watch it. I just saw the picture of her coming out of the TV, and they had the front room setting and stuff. It looked really cool. But I'm assuming they just show, and I guess she comes up to you and is supposed to kill you, like how they do in the movie. But funny story about The Ring, and you know this story. my dad one year went to Comic-Con. And at Comic-Con, they kind of just throw out free stuff for you to go. Like, they'll throw out free after-party events that you can attend. They'll give you, like, free fan-made copies and stuff. Well, they were giving out, this is back in the day when VHS was still kind of a big thing. They were giving out a bunch of VHS tapes. They wouldn't say what it was, but when my dad got back, he was going through his bag of all the stuff he got. And he put in the VHS because he thought it was like a sci-fi movie. So he's like, oh, maybe I'll watch it while I, look at all my stuff. So he puts it on, and it's actually the footage from The Ring. The cursed videotape. Yeah. My dad starts watching this, and he like literally gets scared. He goes, "This is some satanic shit! Holy crap!" He immediately goes to the VCR, takes out the tape, and throws it out the fucking door. And he just it scared the shit out of him. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. A couple years back, to go off topic about VR.
Yeah.
I did the Scary Farm VR, right? Like the virtual reality.
Okay.
And
yeah.
What's it called? I must say, any horror VR, that shit's scary as fuck.
Oh, you got to do it at Knott's?
Yeah, I did it because I did it opening night.
Oh.
Before they closed it.
And it's funny, that was the year I actually worked Scary Farm, and I had heard they closed that down. I actually snuck into the maze after Knott's closed because the door was open, and I actually looked around and stuff. It looked pretty fucking scary. Oh. I mean, there was a scene where they like strap you down to a chair and shit like that. It looked like, or something like that. I don't know, but from what I saw, it looked good. But they shut it down because I guess some guy got offended over. This is like supposed to be an insane asylum. There's stuff like this in real life.
Yeah, like mental shit and everything.
It's like, dude, it's fucking horror. Do you know how many fucking insane asylum horror movies are out there? American Horror Story Asylum literally talks about a fucking insane asylum.
Oh yeah, okay. I want to go off a subtopic just real quick. Like, I think this could be another podcast. Like haunt, fucking what's it called? Fuck, what's courtesy? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Anyways, etiquette. There you go. There's the fucking word. Like it's a haunt event. Like they have a bunch of warnings. You're going there knowing what you're expecting, and you're gonna go and fucking complain about it. Like
it's just like what TLEV says. Like it takes you out of the immersion when when little kids go and like they turn off their chainsaws like for the little kid. It's like don't break your fucking kid.
It specifically says on the fucking directions, anyone who's 14 and under shouldn't come to this event. Yeah. It's recommended. It's not required, but it's recommended. And we've gone a couple years, and I've actually seen fucking babies at the event. And I'm just like, why would you bring your fucking... You couldn't find a sitter for one night? Yeah. Like, your mom was out of town or something like that? Or you're and you just couldn't leave it with the grandma for one night, dude? Like, you serious? And, like, that's just stuff like that pisses me off. But, nonetheless, I think this ring scene would be fucking scary in VR. Mm-hmm. I do have a VR set for my Samsung. Yeah. So I would think it'd be fucking terrifying. Yeah. But, moving on. Brad Pitt. We all know and love Brad Pitt. He just joined the Tarantino Charles Manson film alongside Leo DiCaprio.
I like it.
I like it a lot. And here's why. Because now I read more on who the two people are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So Leo DiCaprio's character is supposed to be an actor who's been trying to make it in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So that they moved to Hollywood. Oh yeah. And then I guess maybe Brad Pitt's supposed to be playing his stunt double. Because I guess this actor had a stunt double, and these two were trying to make it in Hollywood so bad. So this is supposed to take place in the 60s. Guess who they moved next to? Miss Sharon Tate. Yeah. And guess what happened when Sharon Tate was pregnant? She got killed by the Manson family. Yeah. So this should be interesting. Now that I'm hearing more about this movie, this movie is actually set to come out, I think, around this time next year. Mm-hmm. And like I said, anything Tarantino, I'm gonna go see because I like Tarantino. And so it should. I just want to know if they're gonna show Charles Manson in the movie, and if who's gonna play Charles Manson.
Yeah, and I want to know if this is gonna take place in his 10 films.
Yeah, because this is an original film by him. Okay. Now I know which one you're talking about because he's in talks to maybe do a Star Trek movie. I don't think that will take place in his. 10 films.
I don't either because I just don't want to. I don't want.
Yeah.
Films.
Yeah, nonetheless, and I think they're trying to go after Margot Robbie to play Sharon Tate, and which was interesting this week because I actually saw a side-by-side photo of Sharon Tate when she was young and Margot Robbie today, and they look almost exactly alike. So, I mean, I would love for Margot Robbie to portray Sharon Tate. And if you're not familiar with this case, they actually explained it on American Horror Story, and it's a pretty familiar case. Basically, Sharon Tate had some friends over one night, and the Manson family snuck into her house and killed the friends and a pregnant Sharon Tate. So the baby ended up dying, as well as Sharon Tate. It's actually kind of a sad story. She was an up-and-coming Hollywood actress, and for the Manson family to go out and kill her and her unborn child, that's fucked up. But I think Tarantino can do a really good job on this. We'll see. Only time will tell.
Yeah, and the only thing too is I don't know if he'll catch some shit for this. Quentin Tarantino has some moments in his films that are with dialogue. He has amazing dialogue, but it's funny. And I don't know. I mean, he might not, but he might. It depends. Like, if he makes some like funny dialogue around that, and people take it too like
Offensive.
seriously, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. We won't know, but
Well, expect that, and expect a lot of Margot Robbie's toes in there. That guy has a bad foot fetish, and it's out of control. Like, I won't get into that, but nonetheless, I'm excited to see this Charles Manson movie. All right, this one caught my attention too. So, this is how the Evil Dead remake gender swapped Ash without pissing you off. Did you ever notice in the new Evil Dead movie that Ash wasn't in it at all?
he was at the end.
Well, but
Yeah, no, I get you.
he wasn't. I mean, even at the
He
end,
was a main role.
yeah, as Evil Dead is so iconic because of Ash.
Yes.
And so when we got this remake, a lot of people were against it, but it actually got really good reviews, and it was I personally liked it. It was really gory. What they did this time around, because with the first Evil Dead, they tried to make it scary, and the second Evil Dead and on, they made it a comedy horror, a dark comedy. Mm-hmm. And so with this Evil Dead, they literally just went all out gore and scary. But I guess the girl who plays the main chick in there, who ends up killing everyone, she was gender swapped for Ash.
Yes.
She was supposed to be the Ash character in the movie,
Yeah.
and not a lot of people really know that, I guess. And if they didn't really realize it, it didn't piss them off. And that's hard to do with horror fans, because a lot of stuff that you change in a remake of horror movie, fans get pissed off.
You know, I think fans were pissed
Yeah.
off in the beginning, but like, because when you watch it all, it's like spoilers for Evil Dead. Like when she gets her hand chopped off and she gets a chainsaw, people were like, "Oh shit, that's fucking awesome!" And then by the time they stayed for the end and saw Ash, so I think they don't care at all.
Yeah.
I think with the whole horror movie changes, it's like as soon as you change an original aspect of a film, it's, in my opinion, it's not the same. Like, it's just not good to me. Like, there's that special feeling.
Yeah, I feel, like I said, I like this remake. It was pretty good. And I want to touch back on what you said too, George, about the her chopping off her hand and stuff. Like, that was all Ash right there. That's exactly what he did. But he didn't do that until the second movie. But yeah, she went into the shed, got the chainsaw. Her hand got caught off something, so she chops it off with the chainsaw. That ends up killing that person.
That's it. I thought the car fell on her hand and she.
Yeah, or something fell on her hand. I think that it was the car. Yeah, because the evil lifted it up and dropped it or something on her. Ironic, and you know what? Speaking of that movie, a cool Easter egg I found too is there's one scene where they're in the forest and one of the chicks is chilling on this like abandoned, beat up old car. Yeah. It's actually the Delta.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot, so that's cool. But I just found it interesting that not a lot of people maybe didn't realize that they were trying to gender swap Ash without, but it didn't piss a lot of people off. A lot of people actually enjoyed this remake of Evil Dead, so that's cool. Let's talk about Chris Hemsworth.
Your boy.
Your boy Chris Hemsworth, Mr. Thor himself, is in talks to play the lead in the new Men in Black reboot.
I like it.
What do you think?
I really dig it. Like, I think that'd be cool.
So, I don't like reboots.
I swear to God, you talk against Chris Hemsworth?
No, I love Chris Hemsworth. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna talk shit about it.
He's daddy as fuck.
I'm talking shit more on the fact of them having to reboot Men in Black.
Yeah.
Like, we already had 3 of them, and the way they ended the third one was so perfect. And
Luke Cage.
Yeah, the ending for the third one was like absolutely like flawless.
like, and it was sad too at the very end when you find out that Luke Cage is actually his dad, and then freaking Kay comes in and you know, takes the boy in and stuff and brainwashes him and tells him, your dad was like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And for Jay to see all that was kind of like an emotional moment throughout the whole movie. I did like the Boris the Animal though. He was a good villain.
Yeah, I liked him.
He was cool.
Thanos in there, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. That guy's just on him, bro. And that's what I think. That's the first movie I actually saw him in, and started paying attention. I would say the Goonies, but I didn't watch Goonies till later on. But I knew he was always in there, and he's young in there. Yeah. He's like in his, I think, early 20s, maybe 19.
In the Goonies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about Men in Black.
No. He's like 40 in Men in Black. Yeah. But you know, if Chris Hemsworth's gonna be in it, I think he could be a good role. I don't know who he would play though. I don't know if he would play the J character or maybe I can't see him really as a serious K character.
I just think Chris Hemsworth is hilarious on it.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants.
I mean, he was fucking hilarious in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people liked Ghostbusters because, it's going to be a reboot. But, honestly, all the original cast was in it. And they had cameos at least.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with the original Ghostbusters. Yeah. It was its own movie, and that's what really pissed me off. And that's what I tried explaining to a lot of, like, diehard fans. They're like, just check it out. Like, I was skeptical at first, too, but then I watched it, and I enjoyed it. But Chris Hemsworth he took that whole movie.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
When he cleans his fucking glasses and he's like, oh, what happened to lens? Oh, they got dirty.
Yeah,
I took them off.
out.
Yeah. Or he goes, are you going to answer the phone? It's in the water.
Like when he gets, something's loud, he covers his eyes.
He goes like, oh, that's loud. Hey, Scott, did you watch the new Ghostbusters or nah?
The female one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Did you like it?
Skeptical. I'm all about this whole, like, when feminists come in and say, oh yeah, women's rights. But movies, come on. But like, I think that they played it good. Like, the actors were good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward, and then again, I'm not looking forward to the Men in Black reboot. So let's see what Chris Hemsworth, I don't know who he put. Maybe he'll play the fucking, it'd be cool if he plays the actual guy who runs Men in Black.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be dope.
I think his name's M.
Hashtag bring back Will Smith.
Yeah.
I'm 25.
I'm 25. Ish. Next thing we're talk
flip
about.
the numbers around. 52.
Next thing we'll talk about. If you guys are video game fans and horror fans, Outlast just made its way to the Nintendo Switch. Now I don't know if they're doing. I know they for sure it's Outlast 1. I don't know if it's Outlast 2. That would be the smart thing to do and make it like a double feature kind of thing. Both games
does
are.
Does it come with DLC or no? That first Outlast.
I'm not too sure. I just read that it just came to Nintendo Switch. I didn't completely read the article. But I would assume so, because the Whistleblower's been out for a while now, and that's the only DLC for Outlast, so might as well include it in the Nintendo. I gotta pick me up one of those Nintendo Switch. It'd be cool, but yeah, I mean that'd be cool to play Outlast again. I mean, I would think too with the Nintendo Switch too, the graphics just got better. With Nintendo, it was like you brought games to Nintendo Switch and they were shit, but the graphics are just getting better with Nintendo Switch, and I like that. So to see Outlast on there would be really cool, because I gotta check out gameplay for that, but. Nonetheless, if you guys are fans of horror and you guys been wanting to take Outlast on the road with you, it's available now for Nintendo Switch if you own a Nintendo Switch. Other than that, though, it's available for all consoles, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. It's been out for a couple years now.
Yay.
Let's go. For the next one, this one kind of made me laugh a little bit. So a fan who lives in Minnesota, there's a popular dive site over there, and he put a Jason Voorhees statue on the bottom.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought.
Is there a picture for this or something? Like,
what was that?
Is there like a picture for this or something?
Yeah, there's a picture. You see the diver, he's like smiling and stuff, and then
that's so weird.
I mean, I think it's one of the funniest things ever, and if you're a fan of horror, and at
that's cool as fuck.
At first, when you dive in, it's gonna scare the shit out of you, because it's Jason Voorhees chained down there. But if you're a fan of horror and you realize what this is, like, that's the fucking funniest and coolest thing ever. Now, I don't know if they took out the statue by now. I know he did it as a prank, and I thought that was some of the funniest shit ever.
Can you imagine how hard he must have worked on that?
Oh, yeah, dude. I don't know how much the statue itself weighed, but, like, it's the original, and I don't remember what Friday the 13th...
It's fucking intense.
I don't remember what Friday the 13th... He's underwater and chains and stuff. But, he recreated that scene, and I just thought that was cool. I mean, that's the funniest thing ever. It's a popular Minnesota dive site too, so people are constantly going in there, and just to see that, like, I mean, I would love to see people.
I'd be scared as hell.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's Jason, dude. Jason's fucking intimidating and stiff. But I would love to see what he should have done is set up like a secret camera and film people's reactions like as they came out of the water. Like it would have been hilarious. But yeah, so I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit because that's fucking hilarious. Next thing we're gonna talk about It star Chosen Jacobs. He played I forgot which
Mike. No, not Mike. What, Mike?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking Stranger Things.
No. He was in the new It remake.
Yeah,
he was the guy who didn't want to kill the sheep.
Yeah.
He is gonna be in. He's gonna join Bill Skarsgård in the Castle Rock show.
Yeah, that's another
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Yeah, and would you say that's based off? That Castle Rock's a town. It's based off.
I think Castle Rock is, I think, a recurring town in all of Stephen King's novels.
So now they're gonna make that into a Hulu original series, and Chosen Jacobs is gonna join Bill Skarsgård and kind of revisited casting.
Yeah, Chosen Jacobs played Mike Hanlon in It.
Yeah, so he's gonna join for a little reunion in another
That's
Stephen
pretty
King
cool.
project. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, we saw the first trailer at the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. It looked very interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what this Stephen King project is. We did talk about a couple podcasts ago that all of Stephen King's novels are right now greenlit or either in production of becoming either a movie or a TV series. So that's really cool. I mean, but we also brought up the fact that we shouldn't see a remake of Christine.
Yes.
Because that's horrible.
Yes.
But I'm all for Silver Bullet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Werewolves are great. So yeah, Castle Rock comes soon. I'm actually really looking forward to that show. Honestly, it should be pretty good. I don't know who Mr. Jacobs is supposed to be playing. Either if he's going to be a kid or maybe I don't really know the basic concept of it. Are they going crazy or I don't know.
But, like the trailer looked cool. That's all that
I
matters.
just don't want to pry in case like I want to watch a TV show and like get spoiled for everything.
Yeah, so that's coming soon. Look forward to that. Next thing we're going to talk about, this was pretty interesting this week. Get Out being snubbed by older Academy voters saying that's not an Oscar film.
Damn.
It's nominated for like Best Picture, right?
It's nominated for a couple things.
It's
but
Best Picture, Best Actor, and then some
I think
other stuff.
Best Director, Best Writer.
I think it's awesome that it got nominated. It is an Oscar film because it got nominated.
Yeah.
It's literally
Obviously.
Again, with other like Oscar nominated movies, they're Oscar nominated, but like you're gonna fucking pick a film. Like it like just the fact that it gets nominated by an Oscar, it's an honor in its own.
Yeah.
You know.
Like if you have a film that gets nominated for an Oscar, I think that's pretty good, even if you don't win it.
Like I said, I at first I didn't like.
What were you guys pros?
Now I do. I just feel that it's bullshit that older Academy voters are saying that this is not Oscar worthy when they're the ones last year who kind of fucked up at the Academy Awards, giving the wrong fucking movie Best Picture.
I watched that live too, almost.
Yeah, I was fucking. What? I was crying, dude. I was dying. And then I guess a new promo I just saw recently for the Oscars because it's this Sunday or as of this recording.
Tomorrow.
As of this recording, it already happened. So I don't know if Get Out won. I hope it did. Maybe Shape of Water won. I don't know.
I think it's between Shape of Water and Three Billboards.
Yeah, so we'll see who wins. We'll talk about that next week on the podcast if it's a horror-related thing. But there was a funny promo for it that Jimmy Kimmel says, "Oh, this is the right envelope" and stuff like that. So I was like, that's a funny little jab. But nonetheless, I just think it's bullshit that the older Academy people are saying that this is not an Oscar-worthy film. When I think now that we should start getting a more younger view on the Oscars now because there's movies out there that I think that are very much Oscar worthy. I think Logan should have been nominated for an Oscar this year and it didn't get nominated for shit.
Yeah, it did.
Or yeah, but
Best
like
adapted screenplay.
I think it should be fucking nominated for Best Picture and shit like that too.
Yeah, but I think there's too many Best Pictures.
Fucking Wonder Woman didn't get nominated for nothing, and that movie was fantastic.
Yeah, I really want Logan to win.
Yeah, I hope Logan wins. But nonetheless, Get Out. There, if voters are saying that, I think that's bullshit. Moving on. This one was pretty cool. So we all, I hope by now, seen Cloverfield Paradox. Mm-hmm. There was some fan art that someone drew, and it goes beneath the clouds of the final shot.
Yeah, I literally saw it on here and I looked it up before.
Does it look cool?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Is
it beneath? So is it past the clouds, or I saw like little.
Here's the picture right here.
Let me see that. Oh wow! So this is them coming down, and this is gonna be him like rising up. Wow, he's huge.
Yeah.
This is fan art. So this looks really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
This is the. Let me show Scott.
Oh, you calling it?
Wow.
Nice.
Guess our guest left. I'll see you later then, buddy. Wow. Wow. I guess we'll just continue on unless he calls back. I don't know if he texted me. Anyway, we're just gonna continue without him, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like that a lot. I guess we'll find out if how these universes tie in. Overload's supposed to come out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, October. The thing about that though is we talked about how they didn't want to make this film, but
call him back. See if he answers.
Yeah, I know J.J. Abrams wanted to make this film so Overlord would tie in, which is pretty smart.
Call ended. Oh, maybe he's got to do something. I don't know. But nonetheless, we'll just keep going. So, this one it was actually pretty cool. I'm thinking about... I probably won't buy it, but it's cool that's going to be out there. Mm-hmm. Limited edition vinyl box set celebrates Rob Zombie's entire music career. So I want to go on a limb and say that's maybe both White Zombie and Rob Zombie solo.
Yeah, they don't like each other though, right?
No, they hate each other.
Okay.
They absolutely hate each other. But I do think it's awesome that that they're finally celebrating his entire music career. Rob Zombie, if you guys like horror, is the guy right there. He is perfect for horror because a lot of his music talks about horror. Mm-hmm. Dracula. If you watch a lot of his music videos, it's mainly about horror.
Dracula is I think it's the Munsters car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, more human than human. Living Dead Girl is literally talking about Bride of Frankenstein. So, that's cool. Congratulations to Rob Zombie. There he is. He's back. Where's it popping up at? I don't see it.
Left.
Right here? You back?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. I disconnected.
The call was at like 2 hours, so I think...
No, but we did... I don't know.
That's weird.
We only been recording for an hour and 20, though. Oh, but we talked a little bit.
That's so weird.
Anyway, we were just talking about that limited edition vinyl box set celebrating Rob Zombie's entire music career.
Oh, okay.
So
is it gonna be like just him in the vinyl set, or is it gonna be like a tribute?
I think it's gonna be also White Zombie stuff too, like when he did White Zombie.
Mm-hmm.
So it says his entire music career, so I would assume everything he did in his music career.
Yeah, that's what I kind of think I can mix up or something.
And I thought that was appropriate for horror because a lot of his image is like classic horror movie monsters and stuff like that, which I think is badass. So only time will tell. Here we go. Back on PT again, the playable trailer. Kojima's PT gets retro 1998 makeover for playable fan-made game. So, yeah, we've been talking about PT a lot, how that was actually Death Stranding and stuff like that. And I just feel a lot of these fans are coming out and making these like retro makeovers. There's only so much you can do with it because it ends up being the same game. But, I mean, I guess it looks cool with all the different effects and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just kind of want to throw that out there in case anyone is fans of PT and wants to go play this 1998 retro makeover. I don't know where you can find it. I would just type it in on Google and maybe it'll pop up. But yeah, if you guys are fans of that, go ahead and check that out. Last thing we're going to talk about on the subtopics, this caught my attention. And I didn't add this on yours. I just added this last minute. I added this last minute this morning. So the Crow reboot starring Jason Momoa gets October 2019 release.
I like it. I like Jason Momoa. I like The Crow. I would like, because the only thing about The Crow is it came out around the time where like goth and stuff like that was kind of cool, and I don't know how they're gonna be able to do that.
I think they can still pull it off.
Yeah,
it's still kind of a sci-fi comic aspect movie. Mm-hmm. Brandon Lee did a phenomenal job in the first Crow. Rest in peace to him. He was such a great actor in that movie. And you know what I found funny about it is like, you know, he's into martial arts just like his dad and stuff. I mean, his dad's fucking Bruce Lee, dude, one of the greatest martial artists to ever live. But I felt like he didn't want people like to compare him to his dad. I think he wanted to go down his own route. Mm-hmm. He was aware and he respected that he had his dad, that was Bruce Lee. But I think he wanted to essentially just go down his own route. Mm-hmm. And when he did The Crow, it was something that we never seen. It was a very good movie. I never saw a sequel. I didn't really want to watch the sequel.
Yeah, don't.
Is it bad?
Yeah, I know. What's the little kid from Terminator 2? What's it, the kid who played John Connor?
Yeah.
He played one of the. He's in the Turtle Rock City too. He played the Crow, and I think it's a series. I think it's called like City of Angels.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason Momoa I think is perfect because like he's got that like buff, fucking mean look that he can put on, and he's ripped, dude. And I can just see him with the whole. He's got the long hair and everything for it. I can see him with the whole outfit and stuff. And they said it's gonna be a reboot, but I think they'll maybe do a little something different. You know, make his own kind of thing. Scott, have you ever seen The Crow?
Yes, I have.
What do you think about Jason Momoa portraying the role of the Crow in the reboot?
No, I'm kind of iffy on. Solely just because of the fact that the person he is. Like, there's really not much description. Like, I'm excited for just the Crow reboot in general. Like, I could care less who plays him.
Yeah.
But I'm just hyped for it.
It should be good. I mean, I'm assuming he's gonna start on this immediately after Aquaman. I think.
Yeah.
Aquaman's done.
Aquaman's is he done?
Aquaman's done. I think they had a test screening and they're like, it's fucking good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
They're bringing back DC slowly then. They just don't like Zack Snyder. They fired his ass. And then, I don't know if you heard this week, though, too. They also came out and said, like, oh, it was the fans' fault and stuff. And it was
oh, my
the
God.
fans wanted him gone and stuff like that. I'm like,
I've never seen more diehard fans for Zack Snyder than
So, I don't think movies would care too much about the fans in order to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. All right, guys, so we're going to do our last segment on the show.
This week in YouTube.
Yeah, he knows it. Nice. He should be our official spokesperson for that. This week on YouTube, a lot of our favorite YouTubers put up videos every week, so we like to just give them great shout-outs because we respect them a lot, and we appreciate all the hard work they put into the videos. So I'm going to start out with our guest, SoCalExploring, Mr. Scott. He only put up the one video this week. I'm hoping he puts up more next week, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I just figured I'd take a break, you know?
Yeah.
Relax, work on some projects.
Yeah. But the one video he did put up this week was a fucking great video, and it was top 5 HHN facades of all time, and what he thought were his favorite HHN facades. And I would have to say I agree with all of them. They're all good ones that he picked. I'm not gonna tell you which ones he picked. If you guys want to know which ones he picked, go to his channel and go watch the video. It's a fantastic video, well put together. Probably his shortest video, but he says that he kind of threw this together a little bit because he's working on some major stuff for you guys. So look forward to that in the future. We're gonna go on next with theme park info. He made 2 videos this week. Huge expansion coming to Disneyland in Paris, and the new Black Panther ride, and an HHN 2018 leak lineup video. So go check those out. Those are
Wasn't that guy supposed to be on this podcast?
Yeah.
Who?
Who? What? Who's that? Yep. No.
I don't remember anything.
I don't remember anything about a guest. Anyway, Crypt TV made the Sunny Family Cult Supercut. How far would you go? Quiz presented by Death Wish, because that just came out this week. Eli Ross movie. Look See Season 1 Episode 5 Red Skies, and Look See Chronological Order video. All those videos are great. Go check them out. I highly suggest Crypt TV if you guys are fans of horror. Awkward Arsic got a couple of videos this week. The Annihilation review, yeah, that's out. I forgot all about that was out.
Yeah, I've been wondering. I was gonna watch it soon.
So
but I heard it's supposed to go to Netflix in like 2 weeks.
Are you what?
Yeah.
It just came out in theaters.
Yeah.
Why is it coming to Netflix already?
I think they did a deal.
Wow.
With somebody.
So the theaters got it for like the first 3 weeks, and then they get it.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just wait till Netflix then.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Either way,
it's very weird.
I got Movie Pass, so I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, then he did the It 2 What We Know So Far, so he caught us up of all the It 2 news of casting and what we know of this movie so far, of what's going to happen. The HHN 2018 Stranger Things Maze trailer. Now, last week he did the classic movie Monsters Maze trailer, and it was fucking phenomenal. This guy should fucking be hired to do the trailers for Horror Nights, and this week he did a Stranger Things one, and just the way he puts them together just are great. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And then the HHN 2018 Twitter Roundup in February. So what he does is basically rounds up all of John Murdy's tweets, explains them, breaks them down, and stuff in that nature. Zombie Chris, this week he did HHN 27 American Horror Story Review, the Warped Tour 2018 lineup, thoughts and top 5 tips for that. I'm not really looking forward to Warped Tour this year.
Oh, I want to look up the.
You can look it up. There's not a lot of. I think Sum 41's gonna be there.
Warped Tour is low key pretty lame this year.
It's been getting lame like for a lot lately. It hasn't.
I mean, it's gonna be the last year, isn't it?
I think it's gonna be the last year for a countrywide tour. They said they're still gonna do Warped Tour here in California, but as far as it going countrywide, this is the last year for it. And then he did an HHN 28 Speculation 1. So if you guys are interested in anything HHN Orlando related, Zombie Chris is your guy to see. So go check his videos out. He makes good quality videos and very good. He puts a lot of time and stuff into them. So I like watching him because I like to keep up to date with what's going on in Orlando. So that's them. What?
I looked at a tour and I saw these nuts.
Yeah, he's a fucking artist. I don't know why.
What the hell?
HHN Fanboy. He's a new YouTuber I found this week. He's not too big, but he's pretty. I like the videos he makes and stuff. He made an HHN 2018 update number 4, and it's the Strangers at HHN. So he thinks that we might get Strangers at HHN this year. Go check it out. Very good video. And last but not least, TLEV put up two new videos this week. The monthly Scream for February. So that's their show where they take all the news that happened in February, which they're considering actually making a weekly show, which I hope they do. And the HHN 2018 leaked lineup. They made a leaked lineup video as well. These are all our YouTubers for the week. So yeah, that is it for this week on YouTube. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it this week for the Mindless Horror Podcast. We mentioned earlier that if you want to see another podcast featuring us about just comic book shit and a bunch of nerd shit, leave it in the comments below if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I might just go ahead and make it either way, though. So yeah, thank you, SoCalExploring, for coming with us another week on the podcast. It's always
No problem.
It's always cool to have you on the podcast. Glad to see you that you're on the podcast, and like I said, you're welcome back anytime. We had such a fun time today. So yeah, you could have spent your Saturday doing other things, but you chose to spend it with us, and we really appreciate that. So thanks for coming on the podcast again and having fun with us.
For weeks to come, I will be on more and more podcasts, and you guys will get annoyed at my voice. But you know what? Fuck it.
All right, man. This is the Mindless Horror Podcast. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.